guys, it's Rachel here today, and I'm going to be doing a tag video. Yes, a tag. I have not done a tag in probably months. It's been a really long time since I've done a tag. There haven't been really any tags that have been like really catching my attention, although I've been tagged in multiple things, and I'm super sorry that I haven't gotten a chance to do them. But today I'm going to be doing the reader problems tag. This tag was originally created by About to Read, and I was tagged in this by the lovely Adriana from Perpetual Pages. So I will go ahead and link everything down below, and let's just go ahead and get this tag started. The first question is, you have 20,000 books on your TBR. How in the world do you decide what to read next? In the same manner as Adriana, I am a huge mood reader. I look at my shelves multiple times when I'm in my room, when I'm in my library, when I'm on the computer. I'm looking at my shelves constantly, and every once in a while a book kind of catches my eye, and that's the book that I want to read. I don't do TBRs for the exact reason that I don't ever know what I want to read. I kind of go based on how I'm feeling at the time. So I just kind of look around at my shelves and see what I think looks good, and I pick it up. You're halfway through a book and you're just not loving it. Do you quit it or stay committed? I'll be honest, guys, I quit books all the time, and that's not because I don't love it. It's mostly because, like I said, I'm a mood reader. So when I'm starting the book and I'm getting through it and I'm finding out that I'm not really enjoying it, I put it down with the thought that I'm going to go back at it, go back with it. And this is especially prevalent with the Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. I read the first couple chapters of it like last year and I wasn't loving it, but I read it in October of this year for the release of the Retribution of Mara Dyer, and I absolutely loved it. So sometimes if I'm just not loving it, I just put it down. Maybe I'll get back to it later, maybe I won't, but life's too short and I have way too many books that I want to read to stay committed to a book that I'm just not enjoying. The end of the year is coming and you're so close but so far away on your Goodreads challenge. Do you try to catch up, and how? So last year I set a goal for myself of I think 50 books. I only ended up reading 30. This year I had set a goal for myself for about 100, and when I realized that I was not going to reach that 100 goal, I went ahead and dropped it down to 80, and as of right now I have read 60 books. So I'm on track with my Goodreads goal. It's a fun way for me to decide that I'm going to keep reading and try to achieve the goal of reading as many books as I can. But I don't look at it as like a competition, and I don't look at it as a way that's it's not gonna depress me if I don't read my goal, because ultimately as a reader, my goal, my love is to read, and regardless of whether I had the Goodreads challenge or not, I would still be reading. So I look at the Goodreads challenge as a way for me to keep track of what I've read for the year, and that's pretty much it. I don't really look at it as a competition. The covers of a series you love do not match. How do you cope? So just recently I have decided that I want matching series. For the longest time, I did not care. I had books in different editions, different lengths, different heights. I had all these kinds of different editions all over the place, but just recently, when I've really been looking at my bookshelves and looking at what the books that I want to read and books that I know that I'm going to be keeping for a long amount of time, just recently I have been deciding that I really want matching sets, and they may be hardcover, they may be paperback, but overall I really like matching sets, and I'm going to be doing a book on haul, and some of the books in the book on haul are just because they didn't match the series and I wanted to get a matching set because it's a series that I really enjoy. Question number 5. Everyone and their mother loves a book you really don't like. Who do you bond with over shared feeling? I am one of the only people that I know, except for maybe a few other people, that did not like City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I tried reading it so many times, and finally when I was able to get through with it, I was still in the opinion that I did not like it. It was so fast paced, I was so easy to get through, but I just could not deal with the characters. I didn't like Clary, I didn't like Jace, I didn't like so many different things about the book, and I felt like I was the only one that didn't like it. But the way that I bonded with someone, the way I bonded with someone else was definitely through the comments when I mentioned I didn't like the book. So I was getting a whole bunch of comments of people that were like, yeah, I really didn't like the book either. It's nice to see that someone else didn't like it. Number 6. You're reading a book and you're about to start crying in public. How do you deal? So if I know that I'm going to be reading a book in public that's going to give me the feels, I don't. Because I will say one thing. I read The Fault in Our Stars for the first time 2 years ago. And I read this and I was finishing it up. I was laying in bed and my fiance was playing Xbox. And I finished the book and I just started crying, and my fiance asked me what the book was about, and I couldn't even formulate words. Like, I tried to start to explain how I felt, and I just started crying again. And unless you're a book lover and you understand, you get those feels when you're reading the book, you won't understand, a normal person won't understand why you're getting so emotional over a book. So if it's a book that I know is going to give me feels, I tend not to read it in public. I will read it in my library. I will do something like that, and I will read more fun books when I'm out in public because I don't want to deal with people asking me questions. I hate being asked questions. Question number 7. A sequel of a book you love just came out, but you've forgotten a lot from the prior novel. Will you reread the book, skip the sequel, or try to find a synopsis on the Goodreads, or cry in frustration? So, I typically don't like getting first books in trilogies or series when I know that it's going to be a long trilogy. A perfect example of this is going to be Throne of Glass. It came out last year. Heir of Fire finally came out this year. Who knows when the next book's going to come out. What I do is I go and find blogs that do reviews, books in review. Like, a blogger will come out with will do a blog post over a specific book, knowing that a next book is going to come out soon, and they'll highlight the most important part. They're not giving their thoughts on a book, they're not giving their feelings on a book, they're just telling you what happened in the book in the most detail that they can without rereading the book, so that you can ready yourself for the next book in the trilogy or series, if that makes sense. Question number 8. You do not want anyone borrowing your books. How do you politely tell people nope when they ask? So, not a whole lot of people know about my wondrous book collection, other than maybe 1, 2, 3 people that have been in my actual library. I don't have a lot of friends. My books are like my children. I don't know what I would do if there was a fire, because all my books would be gone, and that would destroy me. I have 1 or 2 very good friends that I allow to read books, and they're always with very strict conditions. Namely, no dog earing, no eating. I only give them the book without the dust jacket if it's a hardcover. That's the type of person I am when it comes to that. But anybody just off the street that's just like, hey, can I borrow this book? Absolutely not. I will direct them to the place that they can buy the book. I will direct them to the library, Kindle. I will direct them to anything like that, but I will not allow anybody to borrow any of my books, and it's simply because of the fact that it is my personal collection and I don't trust anyone with my books other than myself. Question number 9. Reading ADD. You've picked up and put down 5 books in the last month. How do you get over your reading slump? So basically, in my opinion, I don't think reading slumps are a bad thing. They're just a way for you to, in my opinion, they're just a way for you to kind of realize that you need to take maybe a step back and do some other things and rekindle your love for reading. I find that sometimes when I'm not reading a whole lot, it's because I've got other things going on, and then when I do decide I want to go back to reading, then I read everything. But if I'm feeling that I'm not feeling a mood, I will go back to reading a book that I absolutely loved, or I will just pick a book that I've been wanting to read for so long and start that book. If that means that I put down 5 books, then that means I put down 5 books. Question number 10. There are so many new books coming out that you're dying to read. How many do you actually buy? So I've never really pre-ordered books before up until this year, when there were so many books that I really wanted to read coming out, and I know specifically, like for say the Unbound by Victoria Schwab, I pre-ordered that one because I wanted it. I wanted signed bookmarks from Victoria Schwab. So this year I have recently started it. I think I've pre-ordered 5 books this year, and they were all books that I was really, really excited for. So and of all of them, I've read all of them except for The Infinite Sea. That's the only one that I haven't read yet. I pre-order books, but mostly I do it by the most anticipated, like a book that is, if it's already in, like as you can see, all the books that I mentioned were like final books in series or third or something in the series. So I've already read the first or the second or the third book in the trilogy or the series or trilogy, and so now I know know I'm already invested into the series, so that's when I go ahead and pick up the next book in the series. Now, if I don't pre-order first books though, because I'm afraid that it's not going to be good and then I will have wasted my money. So that's kind of how I feel on that. And question number 11, after you've bought the new books you can't wait to get to, how long do they sit on your shelf before you get to them? So as many booktubers, I have a book buying problem. I buy books all the time, and I end up buying so many books that I don't know which books I want to read. So what I do is I get all of my books and I look at the one that really just pulls at me, and that's the one I pick up. For instance, the Retribution of Mara Dyer that came out, I read it automatically. Heir of Fire came out, done. The Unbound, done. All these books I buy them, and because I know that I'm going to like it, so I go ahead and read it almost automatically, and that's how I kind of feel about that. If it's the first book in a trilogy or a series, I will kind of wait and see how everybody's feeling about it, and then I will pick it on based upon that, because I know that my mood's going to show that I really want to read that book. But other than that, that's just kind of how I feel about buying a whole bunch of books and not being sure which one I want to pick up first. So yeah, that was the Reader Problems tag. Thank you so much again, Adriana, for tagging me. I feel good. It feels good to do a book tag because I have not done a book tag in so long. I'm sorry if the lighting's kind of falling. It's kind of getting dark outside and I've been busy all day, so I wanted to go ahead and get this video out as soon as I could. I'm not going to tag anybody because this tag's been going around quite a bit. If you guys want to do the tag, go ahead and feel free to do the tag yourself. But other than that, thanks you guys so much for commenting, liking, and subscribing, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!